the cheapest cars you can purchase that look like supercars and have higher performance. Although you might not achieve a supercar's astounding maximum speeds, keep in mind that because these cars are in such high demand and are difficult to find, their prices are likely to increase soon. Lotus Elise. Even though it may not be the fastest vehicle on this list, but it is the most expensive. However, it's the car that I would choose if I could buy one right now. Because this Lotus Elise is a real driver's car, a few exciting drivetrain choices were available for the second generation, which was sold between 2001 and 2010. The top spec models include a 1.8-litre, 4-cylinder supercharged engine. Using a Toyota 2ZZGE engine, it has a maximum speed of 145 miles per hour, and a maximum output of 217 horsepower at 6,800 RPM. There's a reason why the Elise served as the basis for legendary cars such as the Tesla Roadster and the Hennessy Venom. Even though those statistics may not seem like the high adrenaline levels of power you're going to get out of a current Lotus, its 6-speed manual gearbox, straightforward cabin, and 2,000-pound curb weight give you one of the most authentic driving sensations you'll ever have. In fact, Car and Driver magazine named it one of the greatest cars for driving in the entire world. Just a few years ago, such cars were available for approximately $24,000, but thanks to that, you're lucky to find one of these cars for about $37,000 in today's marketplace, which is still less than the price of an average brand new car, but not as cheap as our next option. Audi TT. The one car on this list of cars lacking rear-wheel drive is the Audi TT. However, Audi provided their Quattro 4-wheel drive system for the TT, which was largely a front-wheel drive system but transferred a few horsepower to the rear wheels if it sensed any frontal slip. There are certain changes that can be made to enable you to completely switch it into a 4-wheel drive system, and they are both apparently rather inexpensive. A 3.2-litre V6 was later introduced after the 1.8-litre Turbo 4 was first made available. A fun-sized substitute to the Audi's R8 has been said about this supercar. It won't have as much power as its bigger sibling with 247 horsepower, but for a tenth of the cost, it's a very attractive deal. In spite of this, you get the same basis as the Audi A3, a rather luxury interior for the period, and an outside design that will draw in more females than a Lamborghini. I'm not joking what I just said. Xenos E10. This Xenos E10 represents a rear-wheel drive open-top lover's car. However, in contrast to the Elise, the E10 produces a little bit more power thanks to the 2.0-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder, which is rated at 350 horsepower in the E10R. With their downgraded 2-litre engines, the more economical E10 and E10S are more similar to the Elise, although Xenos claims even the most basic model could reach peak speeds of over 130 miles per hour, and accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 5 seconds. It had styling similar to that of a small McLaren Elva and weighed just under 2,000 pounds. Despite these being currently available in the United States, the company regretfully dropped out of business in 2017, but its E10 continues to sit on both the track and the street on the market for used cars. They are far more frequently sold in their native Britain. They look to be around £20,000 to £30,000 on the cheap side, based on the few transactions I could come across. Porsche 968. The Porsche is frequently disregarded by Porsche lovers. The 968 911 is sometimes overlooked by its more costly sibling, although that's good news for someone wanting to purchase a more affordable option. Producing 236 horsepower from a naturally powered 4-cylinder transaxle, this 968 has a lot more to offer than strange pop-ups. It was initially planned to be a next-generation 944, although Porsche changed it so much that they merely gave it another name as it only had 4 model years until the mid-engine replacement. Even though the Boxster 968 is essentially unheard of, it only costs around $20,000 to purchase. Before we move to the next car on our list, please like and subscribe to the channel, also turn on the notification bell. BMW Z4. Manufactured from 2003 to 2008, the 6-cylinder 2-door vehicle had more than 200 horsepower. In spite of its contentious design, which I believe is really far superior to the current Beamers, BMW wanted this car to serve as a rival to Porsche Boxster. As a result, it sold remarkably well. Both an open-top model known as the E85 and a coupe known as the E86 were offered. It has a 5- or 6-speed manual gearbox and is front-engined. With none of the negative connotations associated with the Miata, it is practically identical. When compared to the $6,000 or $7,000 that a Z8 would cost, a Miata may be purchased for just $6,000 or $7,000. This is an incredible money-saving car. C4 Corvette. It's neither new nor old enough to qualify as a classic, the C4 generation of Corvette may be the least adored of all time. The car is using a Ferrari killer 5.7-liter V8 that produced a 400 horsepower, but even the less expensive L83 engine only generated roughly 200 horsepower. Few years back, the C4 may have been the least expensive vehicle on our list. Previously, you could purchase them for a small amount of money in your pocket, but as the C4 approaches the collectability threshold, prices have increased to around $8,000 to $12,000. Given the raw strength of American muscle, the cost could be justified. That's it for today's video. Please leave a comment on which one you will buy if you have the money and like the video. If you like this video, you may also enjoy this video.